Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown and 205 Live results from the February 21st episode, 2020. First, you got birthdays from February 20th. Gail Kim, 1977. Killian Dane, 1985. February 21st, birthdays. Bertha Faye, 1961. Brodus Clay, 1973. Funkasaurus. Carlito, 1979. Rounding out birthdays for 21st, Tommy Mercer, Crimson, 1985. This past week's episode of Monday Night Raw furthered the storyline between former NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler and Women's Champion Becky Lynch. Their feud escalated to a previous week after Baszler viciously attacked Lynch by biting her on her neck. Lynch called out Baszler in the ring, which led to a video of Baszler vowing to win the Elimination Chamber match and tearing the living crap out of Becky. And a swear word made the air, although it censored in a video. A fan responded to Baszler on Twitter, talking about how a warning should have been displayed in order to keep things PG. The fan wrote, "I don't mind if you pull something like this, but my kids are watching, and if you aren't going to keep it PG, you should say so." Baszler responded to the tweet in character fashion, and she replied, "Or you could be a father and tell them I am a terrible person, and they shouldn't like me for that. Or they will get grounded and their tablets taken away if they ever do that, because I don't give a crap about your kids, so I won't modify my behavior for them." Although Triple H has said that he believes that Baszler is still an NXT talent, she will be a participant in the Women's WWE Elimination Chamber match, with the winner receiving a Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 36. Natalya, Liv Morgan, Asuka, Ruby Riott, and Sarah Logan have all been confirmed for the match. Stay tuned for Raw for the results of that advertised contract signing. WWE Elimination Chamber takes place on Sunday, March the 8th, from Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. New subscribers can sign up on the WWE Network and get the event for free the first month, which includes the Elimination Chamber as well as Super Showdown this coming Thursday. Also noted, Bella Twins will be returning to WWE during Friday's later on in this episode. They will be on a Moment of Bliss with Alexa Bliss. Looks like WWE has pulled NIKKI KROSS from the segment, though. Original WWE website announced that the Bella Twins will be in a segment with both Bliss and Kross. Accompanying promotional graphic also featured both Kross and Bliss with the Bella Twins. WWE made a change earlier in the day, removing Kross from the graphic and editing her name out of the announcement. No word yet of why the change was made, or if Kross will be appearing on Friday's SmackDown, she was not. No word yet why Nikki, Bella, and Brie are returning to TV, but guess what? Here's your spoiler. I already told you about it, because they were rumored to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, which is confirmed on SmackDown later in the results. WrestleMania 36 week in April. The sisters announced late in January that they are pregnant and due within 2 weeks of each other. Later on, there's a report that they're only 1 week apart. Jeff Hardy was backstage at Friday's SmackDown, according to PW Insider. Earlier in the month, it was reported Hardy was expected back as soon as he was seen at the Performance Center, getting evaluated for his in-ring return. Hardy has been out shortly after last year's WrestleMania in April. He initially expected to be out 6 to 9 months with a leg injury. Jeff's contract was scheduled to expire on March 1st with his brother, but WWE likely is going to add time so that he is from the time that he's been on the shelf. So he's going to be another 9 months. The report continued that Hardy is expected to be at next week's SmackDown tapings, probably in action, indicating he'll be with Blue Brand going on forward. Also noted, Jeff is due in court on Monday, April 6th, after WrestleMania 36, for charges related to DWI arrest from October 3rd, 2019, in Moore County, North Carolina, along with public intoxication arrests from July 2019. WWE reportedly pushed Jeff to address his personal issues, which he has been doing. SmackDown on Fox opens up with a quick teaser from Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg. He warns the Fiend that he's next. We cut to a standard SmackDown intro, live from the Gila River Arena in Glendale, Arizona, as the pyro explodes. Michael Cole welcomes us to the show. He's joined in by Corey Graves, the tag team champion of the world. They hype tonight's lineup. They also announced Symphony of Destruction match with Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Braun Strowman and Elias. Musical instruments will be surrounding the ring and be involved in the match too. Usos and the New Day versus Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison, and The Miz. The Misfits, might as well call them. We go to the ring, and out first comes the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. Usos talk about missing last week and go into taking shots at John Morrison and The Miz. Then they bring out SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The New Day, Kofi and Big E. The two teams trade praises for each other until Big E points out that they have one more title reign, and that makes The New Day better. This turns to words of friendly competition between the two teams. Music hits, and out comes Miz and Morrison. They take shots at the other two teams in the ring and say that they should be jealous because Miz and Morrison are the best. Miz references how Dolph Ziggler crashed Otis's Valentine's Day date with Mandy Rose and then introduced him from last week. Ziggler comes out with Robert Roode. Usos don't want to wait. They want to get this party started now. The two sides get ready to start as the fans cheer them on. We're going to commercial. Back for the break, Jay starts off with Ziggler. There's chaos and interference attempts early on. Back and forth for a few minutes to start. Kofi gets dumped to the floor by Morrison. Then Miz follows up with a big boot to the face while the referee was distracted by Roode on the apron. Miz launches Kofi into the barrier now. The heels with more cheap shots to Kofi as Big E tries to come help, but the referee stops him. Miz brings it back in for a 2 count. Morrison tags in and double teams Kofi for a 2 count. Morrison works Kofi over, but quickly tags in Roode to keep him down. Roode taunts Kofi's partners and grounds him, making Kofi stare at his partners. Kofi keeps going for the tag, but Roode rakes at his eye to send him back to the corner while Ziggler distracts the referee. The referee is distracted again by the Usos, allowing the heels to triple team Kofi while he's down in the corner. Fans boo. Kofi tries to leap for a tag, but Morrison rocks him and takes him to the top, talking trash. Kofi knocks Morrison to the mat. Kofi fights Ziggler away on the apron, but Morrison runs up and kicks Kofi in the head, knocking him from the top down to the floor. We go to commercial with Kofi face down on the outside. Back for the break, Ziggler nails a drop kick for a 2 count. Kofi tries to fight back, but Ziggler drops him in the corner. Then takes a cheap shot to knock Jimmy off the apron. Roode tags in, but Kofi launches Ziggler to the floor to block the double team. Kofi takes Roode out. Big E finally gets a tag. Big E unloads on everyone as Miz tags in. Big E slams Miz and dances over him, and he hits a running splash in the middle of the ring. Fans rally for Big E now. Miz blocks a big inning. Morrison tags in, but Big E thrusts him with a shoulder. Big E runs for the spear to end Morrison. Send Morrison off the apron to the floor, but Morrison knees him. They tangle, and Big E slams Morrison with a Uranagi. Morrison kicks out at 2. The screen starts flickering, as it did last week. And there's hype to be rumored that it's the new Killer Kross coming in on SmackDown. But Morrison and Big E go at it. Morrison with a Shining Wizard and a standing shooting star press, but Kofi breaks the pin. Kofi stops the skull-crushing finale and sends Miz to the floor. Morrison takes out Kofi with a corkscrew splash. Roode and Jimmy are legal. Jimmy sends Miz out. Roode and Uso trade pin attempts. Ziggler and Roode hit the double team spine buster and zigzag to Uso, but that's not enough. The chaos continues with everyone involved. More finishers and counters continue. Jimmy gets a pin on Roode after a super kick in the middle of the ring. Winners of the match, Usos and the New Day. Back to more about the glitches and what have you. That's also been happening with the Fiend also. So we'll just play it out. But my guess, it's going to be Killer KROSS in his debut. After the match, winners celebrate as the music hits. Drew Gulak stops Daniel Bryan backstage. Gulak says he noticed Bryan had some holes in his game, so he prepared a PowerPoint presentation to help him, but didn't have no blackboard to do his PowerPoint presentation. Bryan isn't taking this serious as it appears. Gulak says he got pointers from watching Bryan's match with The Fiend, his recent tag team match, and the match with Heath Slater last week. It appears that he's furious because Bryan beat him when he wasn't ready. He also made Slater's kids cry. Slater has his fists up and he wants another match. He goes on and Bryan asks him if he's ready now. He sure is. Bryan tells Gulak to help Slater out, then walks off. Gulak says they've got a lot of work to do. Still to come segment, Goldberg's here. Also fallout from Otis ruined Valentine's Day with Randy Rose. That commercial. Back from the break, we'll see a video package on the recent events between Otis and Mandy Rose, including how Otis was brokenhearted after showing up to their Valentine's date, only to see Dolph Ziggler standing at their table with Rose. Rose and Sonya Deville are backstage talking now when Tucker walks up. He says Rose hurt his boy. She says this is not the time. He just wants to talk. Tucker says Rose agreed to go with Otis on her date, and then she invited Ziggler. He talks about how rough Otis is taking it. She says she invited Ziggler when Otis didn't show up. Tucker asks why then did she send a text message saying that she was running late. Rose is confused about that, and it seems that she didn't send a text. Maybe Ziggler set Otis up. Tucker goes on about how sweet Otis is, and then has some tense words for Rose as he walks off. Sonya says maybe Randy dodged a bullet because she did have fun with Ziggler. Rose says yes, but she was kind of looking forward to going out with Otis. But oh well, Deville says Ziggler is more like Rose's type anyway. Rose might not be so sure of that. Coleshaw says it's backstage to Renee Young for her sit-down interview with Lacey Evans, which is, of course, videotaped. She talks about taking the Royal Rumble loss to SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. Hard as a Marine. They talk about Bayley and Sasha Banks being bullies. Evans says she changed and made progress with her own self because she first saw how much of a bully she was, and when she saw Banks and Bayley picking on her own daughter. Evans says it's a new her. She's changed. Renee asks what's next. She has her eyes on the Elimination Chamber, and her goal is to become champion at WrestleMania 36. Evans is all friendly, smiles, and they say a few words to wrap up the interview. Symphony of Destruction match, Braun Strowman and Elias tag team versus Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Of course, with Sami Zayn in their corner. We go back to the ring, and we see staffers placing various large musical instruments around the ringside area. Cesaro was out first, carrying a guitar case. Shinsuke Nakamura was out next, with Sami Zayn, of course, who was carrying a ukulele. Cesaro, Zayn, and Nakamura hit the ring together as they go back to commercial. Back from the break, we see instruments at ringside. Okay, I forgot where I was at here, and we got back from commercial break. We see the instruments at ringside, including a large piano, now to show us what happened between the two teams last week. Out next comes Elias with his guitar. Elias says he doesn't even know who has his back, but he wants to know who wants to walk with Elias. Elias says one thing will stay the same as we go into WrestleMania 36. WWE stands for. I said, what does WWE stand for? The fans repeat it with him. Elias begins his latest song and gets fans to clap along. He transitioned into an introduction for his partner. Out comes Intercontinental Champion Braun Strowman for a pop. Strowman's carrying a big stand-up bass. which he used on Elias in the first ever Symphony of Destruction match back in 2018. Bell rings and Nakamura starts off with Elias. Nakamura strikes first and goes to work, but Elias drops him with an elbow to the nose. Elias with a chop, more strikes. Elias drives Nakamura down with a hip toss. Sammy throws the tambourine in, but Elias grabs it first and he uses it in the corner. Elias beats Nakamura around the tambourine. Nakamura turns around, but Elias ducks a tambourine shot and drops Nakamura with a jumping knee, sending Nakamura to the floor. Elias grabs a kick drum, but Cesaro blocks it. Strowman comes from behind, takes it from Cesaro's hands, smashing it over his head and around his body. Sammy ends up coming from behind with the ukulele, but it does nothing to Strowman. Strowman chases Sammy around the ring, but Nakamura leaps at him out of nowhere, taking the big man down on the outside. Nakamura smiles at the fallen monster as we go back to commercial. Back for the ring, Elias blocks a cowbell shot, using it on Cesaro. There's a table standing up on the floor now. Cesaro knocks Elias from the apron, putting him through the table, and Sammy cheers him on. Strowman comes running over, flattening his opponents and sending them into the barrier. Strowman launches Cesaro over the announce table, head first to the floor. Fans are cheering Strowman on. Strowman slams Nakamura face first into the steel steps, then the barrier. Cesaro comes over with a guitar, but Strowman blocks it and chokeslams him on the apron. Strowman goes for the bass again, but Sammy comes back from behind with a big keyboard shot across the back. Sammy tips the base over and orders Cesaro and Nakamura around. Cesaro and Nakamura send Strowman crashing through the base with a double suplex. Cesaro covers on the floor, but Strowman kicks out at 2. Elias comes over and fights off Nakamura. They tangle some with instruments, and Nakamura lands a big kick to the head on the floor. Nakamura charges with a Kinshasa to send Elias into the gong, but Elias moved and Elias kicks gong instead. Elias sends Nakamura into the timekeeper's area, then blocks a guitar shot from Cesaro. Elias fights Cesaro off and smashes the guitar over him as the fans pop. Elias places Cesaro on the table as the fans chant for him. Elias goes to the top, but Nakamura stops him. Strowman recovers and tosses Nakamura over the announce table. Elias goes back up and nails a flying elbow drop to Cesaro on the table. As soon as Elias hits that for a big pop, Strowman scoops Nakamura for the running power slam from the top of the announce table into the piano. Nakamura lands hard and Strowman gets a pin. On top, I think. Yeah, they got, somewhere in the match, they got slammed on top of the table, but the table did not break. Winners of the match, Elias and Braun Strowman. After the match, Strowman and Elias return to the ring to celebrate, go to replays. Strowman raises the title as he hits the corner's pose. We see Nakamura receiving medical attention at ringside next to the piano. I believe he ended up getting stitches, which you'll probably get at the end of the video here. Video package on the Roman Reigns versus King Corbin feud to hype their steel cage match at Super Showdown. King Corbin's backstage when Kayla Braxton approaches him for comments on Super Showdown. Corbin says this will be the end of Roman Reigns, the end of the vacate, and he is the locker room leader and the face of WWE. Corbin goes on knocking Reigns and Usos. He says the fact that Reigns has never beat him in a one-on-one match, which is why he will take him out next week in a steel cage match, using the chain link on his face. Corbin says after that, he will replace Reigns on the posters and the billboards. Corbin goes on about how everyone will bow to him as the king after next week, and that being Super Showdown on Thursday at noon Eastern Central Time. Coleslaw hypes Goldberg's appearance again. We see Carmella and Naomi warming up backstage. Still to come, the Bella Twins be on the Moment of Bliss with Alexa Bliss. Back to commercial. Back to the ring, out comes Alexa Bliss for the latest edition of the Moment of Bliss segment. She welcomes us to a special Hall of Fame edition of her show. Bliss goes over the names announced for the 2020 Hall of Fame class so far. Batista and the NWO. Then she announced the Bella Twins for the Hall of Fame. She brings out Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, who are both pregnant, 1 week apart, so they say on TV. Fans cheer them on as Bliss congratulates them. Nikki talks about how grateful they are and says that they wouldn't be where they are and would not have broken their barriers they did over the years if it wasn't for their Bella Army. Brie agrees and gives praise to the women's division for how they continue to raise the bar. Brie also mentions how grateful they are. They bring up their pregnancies and how they are 1 week apart. 1.5 week apart, the report says. They'll say it, only 1 week apart. Brie says that with that and NIKKI's engagement, Hall of Fame induction is just a cherry on top of a great year. They go on to thank the fans some more and say they better see the Bella Army in Tampa for the induction ceremony. The music hits and they celebrate some until Daniel Bryan's music hits. He comes out with their daughter, Birdie. He greets the Bellas and hands the kid over to his wife. Bryan heads to the ring with a Yes Borgasm chant starting up. Back to commercial. Heath Slater versus Daniel Bryan was up next, of course. Back from the break, Daniel Bryan waits in the ring. Heath Slater was out next. Back and forth to start the match with Drew Gulak on commentary. Talking about pointers he had for Bryan. Bryan takes control and goes to the corner. Bryan goes on and comes off the top from a counter, but lands bad on his knee. Slater kicks the knee and drops Bryan with a DDT for a close 2 count. Slater goes to the top for a splash, but Gulak tries to talk him out of it. Waving him down from the announce table, Slater ignores the advice and misses the splash. Bryan recovers and comes back as the fans chant yes again. Bryan delivers the yes kicks. Bryan goes on with more chants and delivers a big knee, but Slater catches him and rolls him up for a 2 count. Bryan comes back with a running knee out of nowhere to get the pinfall. After the match, Bryan celebrates and leads the yes chant. The screen flickers some more as we see Mandy Rose backstage waiting for a car to pick her up. Well, Dolph Ziggler walks up and offers her a ride as he has his car with him tonight. Mandy says, sure, it leaves with Ziggler. We see Otis emerge from behind a sack of production cases. Apparently he was watching Rose. Otis looks angry as we go back to commercial. Number 1 contenders match was up next. Naomi versus Carmella. We go back to the ring for tonight's number 1 contenders match as Naomi makes her way out. Back to commercial. Back from a break, Daniel Bryan and the Bella Twins are announced for WWE Backstage. We cut to backstage, pre-recorded promo from Sheamus. Celtic Warrior knocks Shorty G and Apollo Crews for trying to come at him last week. Sheamus says that the problem for SmackDown are far from over, and now it's time for him to start hunting bigger prey. It's time to end this infestation once and for all, to exterminate every rat in the locker room. Sheamus says he will do that in the biggest trap of them all when he enters the Elimination Chamber. We got to G and Crews in the locker room. G talks about Sheamus being a bully and that making him sick. G isn't backing down, and Crews shouldn't either. Crews says he doesn't need G's little pep talk. He says G can handle Sheamus his way. He will handle business his own way. Crews walks off. We go back in the ring, and Naomi finishes her entrance as SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley watches from ringside. With her title, the winner of this match will challenge Bayley in Saudi Arabia next Thursday. This coming Thursday at WWE Super Showdown. Next comes Carmella as Greg Hamilton does the ring introductions. Carmella gets pyro on her way down to the ring as Cole Saul shows us events that led to this match. The bell rings and you do a handshake in the middle ring. But Naomi takes Carmella down to the mat, immediately grounding her with a headlock. Carmella fights free, and they get back to their feet. Naomi runs the ropes and drops Carmella with a back elbow. Through the air, Carmella shows off and taunts some before they lock back up, and Bayley watching closely. Naomi with his backside for a 2 count. Naomi counters out of the corner and hits a running low clothesline for a 2 count. More back and forth, and a penitence with counters as they tangle on the mat. Carmella comes back and sends Naomi flying with a hit scissor. Carmella tosses Naomi out to the floor. Carmella runs for a suicide dive, but Naomi meets her at the ropes with a kick to the face. Naomi fights back in and hits a crossbody for a 2 count. Naomi goes to the second rope, but Bayley distracts from the apron. Carmella takes advantage and slams Naomi to the mat for another close pin attempt. Naomi goes to the floor for a breather. Bayley trash talks Naomi in her face as the fans boo her. Referee ejects Bayley to the back. Bayley throws a fit at ringside as the boos continue. Carmella takes advantage of the distraction at ringside, running the ropes to nail a dive on Naomi. Carmella stands over Naomi on the outside as we go back to commercial. Back for the break, Naomi drives Carmella over her knee for a 2 count. They trade strikes, but Naomi unloads with kicks. Carmella counters and levels her for another pin attempt. Carmella talks some trash in Naomi's face while they're on their knees. They trade strikes. Naomi gets the upper hand, but Carmella counters and levels Naomi for another close 2 count. More back and forth as Naomi with a jawbreaker and a big springboard kick that barely connected. Carmella goes to the floor to regroup, but Naomi launches herself over the top rope with a corkscrew plancha. Taking Carmella back down on the floor, Naomi brings her back in the ring for a 2 count. Carmella dodges a move in the corner, and Naomi hits the turnbuckles. Carmella with a crossbody from the top for a close 2 count. Carmella keeps fighting and goes for a suplex in from the apron, but Naomi resists her. Naomi kicks from the apron. Naomi launches herself in with a sunset flip for a 2 count. Carmella tries to escape to regroup. She rolls Naomi up for a 2 count. More back and forth between the two. Carmella locks in the code of silence submission out of nowhere. Fans start cheering them both on. Naomi finally gets the bottom rope to break the hold. Carmella ducks a kick. Naomi catches a kick. They go on, and Naomi drops Carmella with a rear view for a close 2 count. Naomi drags Carmella to the corner, but misses the split-legged moonsault. Carmella kicks Naomi in the face for a 2 count. Carmella shows some frustration. Naomi with a big knee to the jaw in the corner. Naomi comes off the top and nails a blockbuster. Naomi goes for the split-legged moonsault again, but this time nails it for the pin and the win to earn the title shot in Saudi Arabia at Super Showdown. After the match music hits and Naomi begins celebrating, Cole confirms Naomi versus Bayley for Super Showdown. Naomi and Carmella have a show of respect, shake hands, and Naomi goes back to celebrating. We see security outside of Goldberg's door. Classic Goldberg style back to commercial. Back for the break, we get another promo for John Cena's return next Friday. It's coming for next SmackDown. We go back to the ring for tonight for the main segment. Familiar music starts back up and security backstage at the locker room door. Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg, the knock on the door, and Goldberg marches to the ring and stops for the usual pyro. Goldberg hits the ring as the fan chant his name. Cheer him on. Goldberg says, "Dang, it's good to be back. It's been a long time since he said this in the ring at SmackDown. So he's going to take his sweet time and enjoy it." He addresses WWE Universal Champion The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, to a pop. Goldberg says, "Whoever and whatever you are, know this. I'm ready." Firefly Funhouse music suddenly interrupts, and we see Wyatt on the big screen. He's startled, and he was busy coloring in some of his eyes on the photo hanging up on the wall. Wyatt starts with the jokes and mind games, but Goldberg isn't here for those games. He knows Wyatt, and he's ready to end him. Wyatt says Bill doesn't know him at all, and he's not taking anything. Wyatt wants them to get to know each other before Super Showdown. He introduces some of his special friends, the various Firefly Funhouse puppets. Last, but certainly not least, Wyatt knows someone who has been dying to meet Goldberg. He says, with more serious tone, lights go out in the arena, and they come back on. Goldberg takes the mic and says, "It must be the Fiend," and he must be right behind him. Goldberg turns around, and as he predicts, there the Fiend is. Fans chant for Goldberg. They both immediately charge at the same time. Goldberg jocks Fiend with a spear. Graves says, "Fiend is hurt." Coleslaw says, "Goldberg isn't done." The Fiend slowly gets up as Goldberg tells him to bring it. Lights go back out as the fans move. Lights come back on, and the Fiend's gone. Goldberg laughs and nods his head like that's what he thought would happen. We hear Wyatt's laugh echo across the arena. Goldberg hits the corner to pose as music starts back up. Fan chant for Goldberg again as Coleslaw plugs Super Showdown for the go home edition of SmackDown as Fox goes off the air. 205 Live results. Commentators John Quasso and Aiden English welcome us to a brand new edition of 205 Live. First match of the night was announced. Joaquin Wilde versus Raul Mendoza. Wilde and Mendoza lock up. Both men go back and forth. Arm drags. Wilde ends the back and forth exchange with a powerful back elbow. Mendoza steps out of the ring. He comes back in and is taken out with a side headlock. Mendoza fires back with a springboard drop kick. Mendoza flies through the second rope and dives on Wilde on the outside. Wilde off the top post with a flipping senton, sending Mendoza crashing. Both men are back in the ring. Wilde locks up Mendoza's legs. Mendoza uses the upper body strength to grab the bottom rope. Mendoza ends the match with a hard kick near Wilde's jaw. He covers Wilde and wins the match. Recap shown of Jordan Devlin successfully defending the NXT Cruiserweight Championship against Leo Rush this past Wednesday night on NXT. Next, we got Tyler Breeze making his way down to the ring for the second match of the night. Tyler Breeze versus Samir Singh with Sunil in his corner. Breeze backs Samir into the corner. Samir fights out of it with an elbow to the back of Breeze's head. Breeze counters with a drop kick. Breeze covers. Samir kicks out. Samir steps out. Breeze flips over the top rope and lands on Samir on the outside. Samir distracts the referee while Sunil clotheslines Breeze. Samir off the top rope, connects with a flying elbow. Samir with a cover. Breeze kicks out of two. Samir off the second rope. Gets caught midair with a supermodel kick. Breeze covers and picks up the win. Think the match didn't last as long as I was saying the match. And now your main event. Brian Kendrick and Ari DeVere versus O'Day Lorcan and Danny Burch. No disqualification match. DeVere and Kendrick run down to the ring. DeVere and Lorcan are battling near the entryway. DeVere sends Lorcan off the ramp towards the concrete floor. Kendrick and Burch are near the ring. Burch sends Kendrick into steel stairs. Lorcan and DeVere make their way back into the ring. Their time in the ring does not last long. Lorcan and Burch send both DeVere and Kendrick towards the floor seats. Burch and Lorcan grab them and take them back into the ring. DeVere brings out a chair. DeVere goes face first to the table. Courtesy of Burch, Lorcan and Burch grab a table. Kendrick just in time saves DeVere from going through the table. Next, Kendrick with a Death Valley driver off the apron sends him and Lorcan through the table. DeVere brings out a ladder. Burch sends DeVere face first into the ladder. Kendrick makes his way back into the ring. Burch smashes Kendrick into the ladder. DeVere climbs towards the top of the ladder and flies off with a splash. DeVere automatically covers. Burch kicked out of two. The fans begin to chant, "This is awesome." Kendrick and Lorcan go back and forth with forearm shots, which turns into chops. Lorcan finishes their bout with an uppercut. Lorcan lands a blockbuster on DeVere. Burch finds some duct tape and wraps Kendrick's feet on the bottom turnbuckle. Lorcan and Burch double team him with an implanted DDT on DeVere on top of the announce table. Then they plant another implant DDT to Kendrick in the ring. Lorcan and Burch grab the win. That concludes this week's show for 205 Live. On SmackDown, Braun Strowman and Elias defeated Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro in a Symphony of Destruction match. Guitar, drums, piano, and other instruments were placed around the ring, while the superstars used as weapons during the match. The end sequence saw Strowman power slam Nakamura down on the piano, like I told you in the video, not earlier in the results, because of the results didn't even say anything about slamming on the piano, and due to that, Braun picked up the win, and Nakamura's head caught the end of the piano, requiring medical treatment, and Nakamura posted photos of the medical team closing up the wound after the show. Don't worry, I'm tough at this link, but the piano was toughest. Braun Strowman and I couldn't beat it, Nakamura wrote in the caption, and that's the Instagram from his link. Dark match after 205 Live in Glendale, Arizona saw Roman Reigns defeat King Corbin in singles action. Reigns did not appear on this week's SmackDown broadcast, but Corbin did appear for Backstage segment to hype their steel cage match at Super Showdown next Thursday. Corbin said he will be looking to finally end their feud this coming Thursday in Saudi Arabia. And that concludes my video for SmackDown 205 Live for this week. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on later. If you don't know, brothers and sisters, just call me.